Turquoise, pristine waters, remote barrier islands make the Fort Myers region one of the best locations for a tropical getaway in the U.S. The islands of North Captiva, Sanibel, and Estero Island, surrounded by the colorful Gulf on one side and a large bay on the other, is a true tropical paradise. That is, unless a hurricane is approaching.
Right now, there is a potential for life-threatening, catastrophic storm surge and flooding to parts of the southwest coast of Florida.
In 2022, Hurricane Ian was headed towards Tampa Bay, but made a late shift to the south,
tracking away from Tampa and closer to Fort Myers.
It has strengthened into a Category 4 with max sustained winds of 140 miles an hour.
And Fort Myers, unfortunately, would experience a whole different level of destruction.
People in Fort Myers Beach are used to waking up to paradise. Today, they woke up to utter devastation.
A delightful beach town now covered in dust and debris. This is Ground Zero, Fort Myers Beach, one of the areas that received the biggest impact of this storm. Right around us, you're seeing it all in shambles. What used to stand as buildings, mom and pop businesses, family owned. People used to come here and enjoy this delightful beach town, and now it's flattened.
14 feet of storm surge ripped up the Sanibel Causeway, with chunks of it falling into the San Carlos Bay, cutting off access to Sanibel and Captiva Islands. It's been a long, hard road for many. Much was lost, but now, almost 3 years later, Fort Myers and its nearby islands are coming back. The region is just too beautiful for it not to.
Want some coconut ice cream?
In this video, we'll show you a Bahamas-like island that is just a 25-minute ferry ride away, North Captiva, where you can rent kayaks, golf carts, bikes, and boats, as well as many other options for lodging. We'll then take you on the shores of the Caloosahatchee River to downtown Fort Myers, where it all started at the Thomas Edison and Henry Ford estate. We'll share a great restaurant as we enjoy dinner with a couple of our channel supporters, and show some of the other dining options with outdoor seating. We'll show the new Sanibel Causeway with its beaches opening much sooner than expected. Take you to Captiva Island, where you can take boat tours to other surrounding islands, and also Sanibel Island as we explore Bowman's Beach. Drive through the J.N. Darling National Wildlife Preserve, take you inside the Shell Museum, and explore the Sanibel Lighthouse Beach. Go to an amazing lakefront park. We'll take you to the epicenter of Ian, to Fort Myers Beach and the eateries of Times Square, showing some comparisons from before Ian and now, giving updates on the new pier. We'll show 5 different boat tours you can take and waterside restaurants. Traveling south of Estero Island, we show one of the best beaches of Fort Myers, Lover's Cay State Park, where there is also a dog beach, and further down to Little Hickory Island, where Bonita Springs Beach is at. We've shown the comeback after Hurricanes Helene and Milton in Tampa Bay, Anna Maria Island, Sarasota, Venice, Boca Grande. Next week, we'll continue south to Naples and Marco Island. We do travel promos across the USA, but this year are focusing mostly on Florida and the southeast US. Doing a new video of the Florida Keys and Key West later in the year, which, by the way, you can get there from Fort Myers. We'll give info. So subscribe and click the notification bell to see all of that. I try to give you good info, posting a full feature every 2 weeks and shorts in between. You may want to sign up for a channel membership, as we often show more raw footage of these areas, and you'll see segments of our videos before they are posted. It's very inexpensive at just $3 a month. This, as well as super chats, help to cover some of the expenses in producing these videos. And now, the beaches and islands of Fort Myers. It's sunrise on the San Carlos Bay. It is here you'll find the Key West Express departing every morning, taking travelers down to the Florida Keys. This saves you a lot of time from traveling the overseas highway. It's about 3.5 to 4 hour cruise. I associate the Florida Keys with the east coast of Florida because you enter just south of Miami. But actually, Key West is due south of Fort Myers in the west coast of Florida. It is a $165 round trip for adults, $135 for juniors 5 to 12, and $85 for kids 4 and under. There's seasonal trips from Marco Island as well. We'll come back to Fort Myers Beach later in the video, but we have our own boat ferry to catch to North Captiva Island, which departs from Pine Island. Pine Island, at 17 miles long, is the largest island on Florida's Gulf Coast. You cross over the bridge to Natn'l, a smaller island between the mainland and Pine Island. This is an old fishing village and was some of the hardest hit areas from Hurricane Ian. You can still see damaged buildings. There's some good eateries here, like the pet-friendly Yucatan Bar and Grill. They actually have a dog menu too. For the North Captiva ferry, you check in at the Island Club office, which is in the center of the island. Then you board a bus for a short 7-minute ride to the marina, where the ferry is at. They are pet friendly. It takes about 25 minutes to cross the Pine Island Sound. It's $29 each way, with 5 trips to North Captiva and 5 trips back each day. We enter the north part of the island at Safety Harbor. North Captiva is a 4-mile long island, sits between Cayo Costa to the north, and beyond that is Boca Grande, we showed in our previous video. And to the south is Captiva Island, which we'll drive to in a bit. North Captiva was once connected to Captiva Island, but a 1921 hurricane created this redfish pass. You can also arrive to this island by plane, as there's a grass airstrip called the Salty Approach on the north part of the island. The ferry drops you off at the town center, which is really just 3 main businesses. There's Mango's Bar and Grill at the Island Club Resort with a pool deck, which you can use with a day pass that is $65. It includes the ferry as well as a burger or chicken sandwich. There is also a little general store with coffee bar, sandwiches, ice cream, and milkshakes. Bailey having a meet and greet with Colby, a full-size poodle. And in this 2-story yellow building is Boats and Fun, where you can rent boats, kayaks, golf carts, bikes, or take a fishing charter. The bike is $45 for 3 hours or $70 for 24 hours. It's a 1-speed beach cruiser. A golf cart is $99 a day. There's no paved roads here. It's all sandy roads.
Come follow me and you will see a tin cabin in the wood. It's a getaway where lovers play like only lovers could. There is a bamboo bungalow deep in the jungle, don't you know, where all the people can let go to the sweet sound of calypso.
The northern mile of the island is where all the vacation rentals are at, and the southern 3 miles of the island is a more narrower strip, a nature preserve. There's a 2.5-mile South Bank trail to maybe within 1.5 miles to the island's southern tip. The sand for much of that trail was too soft to ride in on a bike, so I just rode on the beach, which was great, more scenic, lots of wildlife.
You can find us here, just disappear and take the path unknown. Join the fun with everyone, you'll never be alone.
There's Dolphin Beach on the north bay side of the island, and on the Gulf side is Sunset and Bartlett Beach. Verbo has a wide variety of about 100 vacation rentals you can book here, or book through the Island Club. We head back to Pine Island. The south part of this island is St. James City. There's a KOA here with a hot tub, sauna, pickleball, and basketball courts, as well as full 50-amp large pull-through sites. They also have cabins and cottages complete with hot tub and shower, some that are pet-friendly. At the very south end of Pine Island is the waterfront restaurant and marina with classic seafood dishes, dining indoors or outdoors on the dock side. Way off in the distance, you can see Sanibel Island, and to the left of that, the causeway. But we're going to explore downtown Fort Myers first. Then we'll head out to Sanibel and Captiva. Downtown Fort Myers sits on the Caloosahatchee River, which runs from Lake Okeechobee to the Gulf at Fort Myers Beach. This bridge here, named after one of the first tourists to visit Fort Myers, inventor Thomas Edison. In fact, I guess you could say he put Fort Myers on the map. He vacationed here in 1885, loved it so much he purchased 13 acres right on the Caloosahatchee River to escape the harsh winters of the north, and where he could grow bamboo, which he needed for his light bulbs. He was good friends with another Fort Myers tourist you may have heard of, Henry Ford. After a visit in 1914, Ford loved it so much he purchased the adjacent property. And another famous tourist was Harvey Firestone, who stayed in Edison's guest house here. So perhaps if you visit Fort Myers, maybe you'll invent something too. You can see the laboratory where Edison performed his tests. For a self-guided tour, it is $28 for adults, $20 for teens 13 to 19, and $15 for children 6 to 12. You can download an app to listen to audio during your tour, or for $7 more, there's guided tours. The property is also a great spot for a wedding, offering 4 different options for ceremonies and receptions. This massive banyan tree at the Welcome Center, a gift from Firestone to Edison, is the largest banyan tree in the country. In downtown is the 4-story Firestone building, which was used for sales and service for the tire and rubber company. Today, it has a rooftop sky bar serving steaks and cocktails. And there's Ford's Garage, a popular restaurant chain with 25 restaurants, which started in Henry Ford's birthplace of Dearborn, Michigan. Along First Street, or within a couple of blocks, is where all your popular restaurants are at. Now, if you are looking for a modestly priced restaurant with a great atmosphere, try 1025. It sits in this courtyard just off of First Street. I'm having dinner with Lori and Mark, who live in Cape Coral. They are longtime supporters of this channel, with very unique names for their dishes.
And what did I have?
New hippie on the block.
Oh yeah, new hippie on the block. I am from the San Francisco Bay Area, so I guess this is real fitting for me.
Food and the service was great. There's Cabo's Cantina, a taco and tequila bar. Capone's, a sprawling pizzeria, serving coal-fired pies and other Italian fare amid jazz-age vintage decor. Bruno's of Brooklyn with Sicilian-inspired recipes with a New York City twist. For seafood, try Izzy's Fish and Oyster. For a sports bar with live music and TVs, the Hideaway Bar. And another sports bar with barbecue is the Lodge. While some progress has been made, much of the Fort Myers waterfront marina has yet to fully recover from Hurricane Ian. But there is the Oxbow Bar and Grill for oysters, burgers, seafood, with a great sunset view on its terrace. For entertainment, there's the Arcade Theater, a restored 1915 former vaudeville venue, now a performing arts theater. Also, if you are visiting during March, Fort Myers is the spring home of the Boston Red Sox, here at JetBlue Park, known as Fenway South. We showed Fenway in our Boston video a few months ago. Alright, now it's time to head to Sanibel and Captiva Islands. This causeway, one of the most remarkable stories from Hurricane Ian. You saw how ripped up it was. Originally, they said it would take months to rebuild, but somehow they had a temporary fix in 3 weeks. Since then, they have been working on a permanent fix and rebuilding the beaches along it, which was supposed to be till 2027. But good news, the beaches are opening May 1st of 2025, which was shortly after the filming of this video. So odds are they are open now as you are watching it. Looks like they have a new wraparound path under one of the bridges. Yes, looks barren here, but they are going to be replanting trees, specifically Australian pines, with native species, as well as mangroves to harden the shoreline. On the left, the south part of Sanibel is where the lighthouse is at, but we are going to start in the north on Captiva Island, then work our way back south. Now, the north 2 miles up Captiva is private property, so the northernmost beach you can go to is Alison Hagerup Beach. It has a small parking lot, so if you want to go here, arrive early. It's $15 an hour or $25 all day. And close by here on the bay side is Captiva Cruises. So we showed you how to get to North Captiva Island, but there's a couple of other islands you might want to take a boat tour to. The Lady Chadwick vessel here, taking people out on a 4 to 5 hour cruise to Cabbage Key, which is said to be the inspiration for Jimmy Buffett's Cheeseburger in Paradise. They also have cruises to Cayo Costa Island and a 6 hour cruise to Boca Grande that we showed in our last video. A mile south of Captiva Cruises is probably the most popular resort on Captiva, the Twin Waters Island Resort. This place is great because they offer so much activities from kayaking, paddleboarding, biking, parasailing, wave runners, tennis, pickleball, or if you just want to relax with a full-service spa and multiple pool decks. They also have a variety of lodging options from hotel rooms to cottages and with some pet-friendly rooms. We come to Blind Pass, which separates Captiva and Sanibel Islands. On the Captiva side is Turner Beach, which has not opened back up yet as of the filming of this video. On the Sanibel side is Blind Pass Beach. This beach is open, but has a very small lot, and several of the spaces are for residents. In our 2020 video, we had shown what used to be the castaway cottages here. Well, unfortunately, they did not make it through the hurricane. The only thing left is this little A-frame office across the street. Now, perhaps the best beach on Sanibel and Captiva is 10 miles from the causeway, is Bowman's Beach. Certainly, you are more likely to find a parking spot here with a much larger lot. Parking is $5 an hour. There's no concessions here, but there are full facilities, ADA accessible restrooms. No rentals here either, so you have to bring your own beach loungers. By the way, for these types of beaches, you need a good collapsible beach wagon. I recommend this particular one here because it's durable, holds 330 pounds, and has drink holders. It's a reasonable price, and yet more durable than the super cheap wagons that break. There's fishing, short hiking trails, and bird watching. And this, as well as all Sanibel beaches, are dog-friendly. With the calm waves, it's a good beach for swimming and shelling.
There's a dog, Bailey. There's a dog.
Across the street from Bowman's Beach is the J.N. Ding Darling National Wildlife Refuge, one of the country's largest undeveloped mangroves. You can drive through on a 3.5-mile road for $10, or with Tarpon Bay Explorers, you can take a tram, boat, or kayak tour, or rent paddleboards and kayaks. At this preserve, there are 51 types of reptiles and amphibians, 32 different mammal species, and 245 species of birds. Another couple of miles down Sanibel Captiva Road is the Bailey Matthews National Shell Museum and Aquarium. It is currently at a reduced price, $12 for adults, $8 for youth 12 to 17, and $5 for kids 5 to 11. It is reduced because the shell exhibits on the second floor are undergoing redesign. Sanibel Captiva Road turns into Periwinkle Way. There's Periwinkle Place, a little shopping mall. It is here where you'll find the Blue Giraffe Island Bar and Grill, a dog-friendly eatery with patio seating. At 12 miles long and 3 miles across, Sanibel is one of the largest islands in Florida, with 25 miles of bike trails. Makes it a favorite for cycling, as you have a path along Sanibel Captiva Road and Periwinkle Way. You can rent a bike at Fenimore's Bike and Beach Rentals, as well as kayaks, paddleboards, and beach equipment. And there's also Billy's Rentals further down on Periwinkle Way. The Dairy Queen here didn't make it, but it's been purchased and is rumored will be a vintage-style burger place to be rebuilt here. A half-mile from the Lighthouse is the Magic Bus, a coffee house with ice cream, milkshakes, baked goods, and there's Wiki's Lighthouse Restaurant for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. At the south end of the island is the Sanibel Lighthouse, which was one of the first lighthouses on Florida's Gulf Coast. There's a parking lot on both the bay side and the Gulf side. While there's large lots, they can get filled up during the spring. It is $5 an hour. There's no concessions or rentals here, so bring your own food and loungers. They just completed a beach renourishment project, planting over 32,000 locally grown plants and adding 400,000 tons of sand from the shores of Lake Okeechobee. The pier on the bayside is still closed for now. You'll find sand dollars, shells, and possibly see a few dolphins, with Fort Myers Beach in the distance. While Fort Myers Beach is just across the Matanzas Pass, we have to go around, back on the causeway, to the mainland, which is a 30-minute drive. Going to make one detour, though, to another place you might find wildlife. It's Fort Myers' most popular park, Lakes Regional Park. This is a great stop if you have time. It's a massive park with boardwalks, a miniature train ride that goes around the lake. You can rent surrey bikes, swan boats, kayaks, electric bikes, and there's a train village with a museum, and the whistle stop for burgers, hot dogs, pizza, ice cream, and more. Some parts of this park are being renovated, so some areas could be closed temporarily. It will be all finished in mid-September of 2025. As we head to Fort Myers Beach, 3 miles from the beach is the Smuggler's Cove Adventure Golf. Before we cross the Matanzas Pass Bridge to Fort Myers Beach, I want to show you a couple of restaurants and boat tours on this side of the bridge. The Dixie Fish Company with some of the best seafood in the region and dining right on the Matanzas Pass. Next door is Doc Ford's Rum Bar with Caribbean and South American food.
Fire in the hole!
For boat tours, there's the Salty Sam with a 90-minute pirate all-ages cruise with cannons, interactive comedy, and pirate games. It is $36 for adults, $30 for children 2 through 13. They also have an adults-only cruise, including a rum cruise. And from the same marina as the pirate cruise is Sightsee R Cruises, with a 2-hour wildlife cruise or 3-hour shelling cruise around Sanibel and Lover's Key. There's the Tiki Pub Party Boats with karaoke, offers a 2-hour dolphin cruise or 3-hour beach cruise. You can do a public cruise for $50 or charter the Tiki for $299 for up to 6 people. This group here doing a little, hey Macarena. As we cross over the Matanzas Pass, on this side of the bridge is Cruisin Tiki's Fort Myers, with private and public cruises from 90 minutes to 3 hours long. And also there's Nautical Tiki, with cruises from both North Captiva Island as well as Fort Myers Beach. They are located at the Smug Harbor restaurant here. A 90-minute cruise is $49 per person. We'll see them again in Isla Mirada in our Florida Keys video in a few months. We're going to start on the south tip of Estero Island, then show you around Fort Myers Beach and Times Square. You can see Sanibel Island just across the pass. At the south end is Bowditch Point Park. While the beach area is open, the restroom facilities and piers have yet to be repaired. Parking is $5 per hour, and there is very limited parking. Just north of Bowditch Park is the Pink Shell Resort and Marina, a 4-star resort with a large pool deck. They have jet skiing, kayaking, ping pong, and rentals for paddleboards, kayaks, pontoons, bicycles, golf carts, as well as lounger and umbrella rentals. No dogs are allowed here. There's the Tarpon Point Marina water taxi that runs from Cape Coral to Fort Myers Beach, Smug Harbor Marina, and they do a sunset tour in the evening. For transportation, you may want to consider the Lee Tram Beach Trolley, which is a very reasonable $2 for a day pass. Its route 410 and 490 travels the length of Fort Myers Beach from Bowditch Point Park to Lover's Key. You can download the Lee Fair app. We arrived at the Fort Myers Pier in Times Square. Parking gets filled up quickly in the winter and spring. It's $5 an hour, payable on the Passport Parking app. This is the epicenter from Ian. Much of the beach sand has been renourished. Here's a look at the pier in 2020 and a look at the pier now. Construction of the new pier is expected to begin in 2026 and opening in August of 2027. Here's a look at Times Square in 2020, which is a promenade with restaurants and bars. Notice the Dairy Queen on the side of the beginning of the pier. Well, all that was wiped away, just a slab of concrete left for much of it. But the good news is there are plenty of eateries back open now. The Bella Mozzarella Pizza and Grill did survive, and there's a homemade ice cream shop next door, and Mr. Wave's Island Bar, which has reasonably priced food and very good reviews, covered seating on the promenade. There's the Buffalo Grill food truck with burgers, dogs, chicken, chili cheese fries, and more. On the beach, you can rent loungers. It's $40 for an umbrella and 2 loungers, which you can rent at this Rebel Water Sports booth. They also have wave runners for $140 an hour. And for more adventures, there's Paradise Parasailing. In the center of Fort Myers Beach is the brand new Margaritaville on both sides of Estero Boulevard, with an overpass connecting them. On the beach side is the Fins Up Beach Club, which you can purchase a day pass for $45, which gives you access to the lagoon pool, loungers, towels, and changing rooms. Moving down Old San Carlos Boulevard to the pass, you have more eateries. There's the Fort Myers Beach Market on Fridays and Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. There's the Yucatan Beach Stand, an island-themed bar and eatery amid bamboo walls. There's that SOB. That's the Smokin' Oysters Brewery with burgers and seafood and live music. There's the Bayside Veterans Park at the end of Old San Carlos Boulevard. It was rebuilt. Next to that is Nervous Nellie's, one of Fort Myers Beach's most popular restaurants, with seating on the water overlooking the Matanzas Pass Bridge. And there's the Smug Harbor Restaurant with grouper tacos, craft beers, and cocktails, seating right on the docks. There's Wahoo Willie's Bar and Grill with open-air dining. Note, there's additional beach parking on both sides of the Lani Kai Resort, which is 3/10 of a mile from the pier. The Lani Kai has 3 beach view restaurants, 7 beach bars. If you want to lodge there, you can reserve at booking.com. Moving down Estero Boulevard, Fort Myers Beach was known as an old Florida-style beach. It used to be you could find pretty reasonable lodging for a beach town, but the hurricane destroyed those older buildings, the mom-and-pop places. Much of their whole infrastructure was damaged, which made it impossible for them to rebuild to new building codes, so most of those were forced to sell. An example, the former Red Coconut RV Park, which was here for over 40 years, was destroyed and sold for $52 million, and likely will be a corporate type towers or condos. It's unfortunate, but what you gonna do? At the end of Estero Island, we cross Big Carlos Pass to Lover's Key, where a new bridge is being constructed. It will have a 6-foot wide sidewalk on the north side and a 10-foot wide shared use path on the south side, and there will be access to Lover's Key State Park on the southeast side of the bridge. Should be completed in the summer of 2026. Now, if you feel as I do, $5 an hour is a little steep for beach parking. Try Lover's Key State Park at $8 per vehicle, or if it's just one person, $4. It's very reasonable. Easy parking, and there's a tram ride to the beach, or you can ride a bike like Bailey and me. And you can also rent kayaks, canoes, and paddleboards to explore a 2.5-mile estuary. This is one of the best beaches of Florida's Gulf Coast. Water is great for children to play in. The beach is long and fun to walk, and there's lots of wildlife. And there's lounger rentals available.
So where are you all visiting from?
We're from Minnesota.
And what do you think of the west coast of Florida?
Amazing.
Love it.
Yeah.
There's the Black Island Trail, a 2.5-mile loop biking hiking trail that follows the canals. Dogs are not allowed on the main beach, but they are allowed on the trails. And there is an off-leash dog beach on the south side of Lover's Key. But check the tides, as during high tide, you might have to walk through a little water to get to the dog beach. Overall, Lover's Key has over 2 miles of beach and 5 miles of multi-use trails. Crossing over New Pass into Bonita Springs. This is Big Hickory Island and Lolly's Beach. It's a private island for the Hyatt Regency Coconut Point Resort and the Pelican Landing community in Bonita Springs. They access the island by ferry. This is Captain Joey D. Charters. They are out of Naples with boat tours, rentals, and fishing charters. Not to be confused with Captain Brock in Punta Gorda.
All right, bro.
Every day, I'm the best charter captain you will ever meet in your mother.
All right, bro.
By the way, all these bridges are great for fishing. We now cross Big Hickory Pass to Little Hickory Island. There's Little Hickory Beach as you enter the island. Parking is free here. There's no facilities, but there's portable toilets. Moving south, now on Hickory Boulevard, you'll find 10 different public access points to the beach. Access number 2 and number 9, there's free parking. At the south end is Bonita Beach Park. While there's 2 large parking lots, they do fill up quickly in the spring and winter, so you want to come early. Or if you wait till around 2 or 3 p.m., people do start to leave, so easier to get a spot then. It's $2 an hour to park here. There's Doc's Beach House with a beach-level open-air patio, and they have rentals of kayaks, paddleboards, bikes, jet skis, beach loungers, and parasailing. The restrooms, covered pavilions, and barbecue grills are not repaired yet. Supposed to happen along with a beach renourishment to be finished in June of 2025. I suspect might be a little longer, but there are portable toilets and outdoor showers available. No pets are allowed on this beach. Well, this is as far south as we're going on this video, but next week we'll continue further down to Naples and Marco Island. For pet-friendly budget lodging, I stayed at the Howard Johnson's near the airport. Again, it was a good room, and they actually did daily room service, something that many hotels had not done since COVID. And across the street is a Baymont, formerly a La Quinta, which you might like as well if you like the motels where you can park next to your room like I do. So maybe, like Thomas Edison and Henry Ford, you'll discover the islands and beaches of Southwest Florida are some of the best in the country for a tropical getaway. I've listed the places featured in this video in the description below, which you might want to take a screenshot of if visiting the area. And a big thanks to all of our channel members and the super chats helping to support making these videos. Very much appreciated. And a special thanks to Lori and Mark of Cape Coral for all their help in keeping me informed about this region since the hurricane. And also to Dorinda and Tina, who helped me out as well with their Facebook posts. If traveling with a dog, these Kurgle dog backpacks are the best. You can take your dog to places maybe you otherwise would not be able to. It saves your dog from excessive walking. I put a link below. We are Tampa Aerial Media. We film travel promos across the country. For stock footage, or if you'd like us to film your city, region, or vacation rental, contact us at info@tampaaerialmedia.com. Speaking of vacation rentals, we'll be filming Verbal's #1 vacation rental in the country in a couple of weeks as we do another video of Gatlinburg. From Southwest Florida, I wish blessings to you wherever you may be. See you next week in Naples.